Welcome to Bad Comedy Podcast, folks. It's me, Mack, and I'm here with Dylan Internet, the number one influencer in the great United States of America.
Thank you.
You could call it the divided states of America based on...
That's how it feels lately, that's for sure. Very divided.
How many people born in America are still here? Probably like 1%.
I don't even know how many people are born in America anymore.
I think that the amount of immigrants has probably eclipsed the amount of people that are born here now. Like in the last month, I think that 400 million immigrants have come in, I think.
I know. I thought that they were going to build a wall, not a slip and slide, to just slide into this country. And so it's just overpopulation concerns.
Yeah. I like underpopulation.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there should be nobody in, like, Wyoming.
Yeah, in these southern states, they could really use a little bit of a purge.
Mm-hmm. You know what's weird? So I got the first and second. By the way, I don't care about getting demonetized anymore. Fuck it. I got the first and second vaccine, you know,
Nice.
and I got COVID recently, and I got this weird brain fog, and then by the time I was done with my COVID, I was like, I kind of want to vote for Kamala Harris.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a side
Isn't that weird?
effect. Yeah. No, that's spooky.
Yeah, because prior to that, I was no chance in hell I would ever vote for her. It was either Willie Nelson or Trump, and then I got the COVID, and then I think it connected with the vaccine to make me a Democrat.
The brain frog.
Well, it made me more susceptible to her talking about, you know, she grew up in the middle class. You know, she's hard on the border because she was a prosecutor. You know, even though the border's still open under her in office.
And it's been a huge problem.
But she was a prosecutor. She's seen that stuff happen, you know?
Right. She knows minorities when she's like 8 different kinds of minority.
Yeah.
And
that's why I like
when they
her.
asked her, like, have you ever been at the border? And she's like, we've been at the border. And he's like, well, you haven't been at the border. She's like, I haven't.
And that was Lester Holt that called her out. He never he always is far left in the stuff he says.
But then he was still not letting that slide.
No.
She's like, well, I'd never been to Europe either. Okay, I guess.
Okay, cool. So you're not talking to any of our allies or our potential enemies. I also like how our government doesn't talk to any like potential enemies. Like they don't talk to Putin. Like you should talk to him. That's called diplomacy.
Keep your enemies closer. That's why I intend to elect Kamala Harris, my enemy.
I'm hoping Willie Nelson will do it. So Willie Nelson is dropping a new album. I saw him live. It was awesome, everyone. Catch him while he's still alive. He's probably going to die in the spring of 25, but he'll still be alive in the sky. But
catch him while you can.
Yeah, catch him while you can. He has an album dropping in like 34 days.
Is that a coincidence? We're so close to the election. I don't know. He might be on the ticket.
You know,
you might write him in again.
They might put him in. I mean, I need to start getting some. I need to start getting some signatures.
I wonder what the odds are, like presidential odds on Willie Nelson.
I don't know. I remember. I remember one year. I forgot which year. A lot of people wrote in D's nuts, and like it was on the news. I want to see how many people I can get to write it in Willie Nelson, but I wonder how many people I'd have to get to do it for them to put it on the news and be like, "What the hell?"
That'd be impressive. I remember just seeing a meme of it was like Jeb Bush, and it was like if they would do a recount and like for Hillary, but versus Trump, but then Jeb Bush wins, and just like all the states are. Turns out they're all Jeb Bush. Domination.
Jeb Bush. Dude, I feel bad for him. Trump fucking just... I mean, I didn't like just looking at him, I felt bad for him. He was so defeated. But it was very funny. But I have empathy for people.
Yeah, I like Jeb, and I thought maybe he's well-reasoned enough. Maybe he's not a crook. Who knows?
Yeah.
Coming from that family, I don't even know if George W. is a crook.
I know Nixon's not a crook. You know why? I don't know why.
Why?
Because he said, "I'm not a crook." Take him for his word.
And what kind of crook would say that?
I take a man for his word. I take a man at face value. I'll tell you that much.
Take a man for his word. Was a little,
sorry about that, folks. But
it was intentional.
If someone asked me, "Is Nixon a crook?" I would say no.
You gotta take these people at their word, and just
we gotta take the CIA at their word, probably on most stuff.
Absolutely, and they're gonna take us at our words, our deepest, darkest words.
Did you know that RFK Jr. is actually just JFK?
Oh wow!
Who grew up more and he's old.
I thought he was still alive. I felt like
he's like 100 and something years old. That's why he talks like that. But he got some medicine that lets him live.
That makes a lot of sense. And he got shot in the cord.
I'm surprised that he wants them to release the JFK files because it's going to show that it's him
still alive,
or that's his grand.
It's like a ta-da.
Yeah.
That would probably get him elected, honestly.
On the next one, yeah. I've been JFK the whole time.
JFK, and then he has 4 years to keep building that back up.
But he's
great bench press. He's a handsome guy.
Well,
can't talk.
No, but he's a dangerous conspiracy theorist because he thinks COVID came from a lab. You know?
He is crazy. And vaccines are dangerous.
He thinks that when corporations dump chemicals in the water, that's bad.
I know, and it's like
what? How is that bad?
He's got that leapfrog voice, that kind of ribbit kind of, kind of a toad kind of voice.
Yeah, I mean,
Kill Tony.
These conspiracies are dangerous. About COVID being leaked from a lab and that chemicals in the water is bad and it's a threat to our democracy.
Yeah, it's like, those things sound dangerous. Like, so don't talk about them.
What if Kermit was the president? Be Kermocracy. And you'd be like, hey, American people, my fellow Americans.
Take my vote.
I would. Oh yeah, take all my votes. I'll give all my votes to Kermit. I'll vote.
He's a first lady.
I'll vote here every battleground state.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They should have just like a Muppet party.
Yeah, I would love that. I know several Miss Piggies on the comedy scene. I'll tell you that much. But I'll release those behind the Patreon.
I was playing a slot recently, and there's a pork chop feature, and I was explaining the whole Blair pork chop thing
to the person next to you.
Just like that's just one of the Miss Piggies, I guess we could say, of comedy.
Yeah, Blair pork chop. She looks like a witch and evil witch,
but not a piece of meat.
I'll say
that. Yeah. But we don't want to get too into comedy here. We're a political podcast.
Yeah, we're pundits, but we have fun. Pundits. So we're outlaw comedians. A lot of people say we're gundits and bandits.
And we're rogue like Joe Rogan.
And Dylan's not bald. It's a psyop. He has hair.
My nickname's the Bald Eagle because it's ironic. I'm not bald.
How much would it suck if your name was Simon and your last name was Op, and then everyone would call you Psyop?
That would suck. It's like Simon Says.
Yeah, I want to go to. They're just making adult Chuck E. Cheese's with like slot machines.
That's why I love Chuck E. Cheese. Just introduced me to drugs and gambling.
Yeah, I mean any of those games. You put the gold in. It teaches you to gamble later in life.
And it's just a really bad ROI. You're rarely gonna pick up the stuffed animal,
unless you're a Rain Man. You're not going to get a good return on investment.
But you get pizza.
You can get the pizza with the crust that has a little garlicky. Everyone loves Chuck E. Cheese pizza. But
cheese.
I don't want to see these fucking little rascals running around.
No.
I'm like, get out of here.
No, it's right? Like I used to be one of those little rascals, and there's an age limit.
What they should do is they should connect the Chuck E. Cheese's to casinos so that people can drop off their kids at the Chuck E. Cheese. They'll have like chaperones there.
Beautiful.
It'll be like a daycare while you go gamble your life savings away.
Their college fund away. Bye-bye.
Let's talk about Diddy.
Let's talk about Free Diddy.
Well, yeah, Free Diddy.
Maybe.
What is it? Illegal to have gay sex?
Yeah, it's illegal to sex traffic.
It's illegal to have gay sex with Meek Mill. Like what the? No, it's not.
It's illegal to drug women. I guess.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of stuff. He also, so you think he killed Tupac? Is that what most people think? He hired someone?
I think that recently someone kind of exposed that they kind of were like the missing link or the missing piece, and then he had put up $1 million for someone to kill him, and then this guy was like, yeah, and so like this guy killed
also
him.
Back then, with inflation, $1 million, $1 million back in '95 or whatever it was.
Might have been worth it.
I might have to go calculate that out. Let's do the inflation calculator.
Yeah, and it's like if you're like, more of a like east side kind of guy, then it's probably worth it. If you're west side, I don't know, but
I
just feel like
I think he killed Biggie too.
Yeah. I think he might have killed JFK, and I think he's still alive.
JFK is still alive. What if Biggie's still alive? No, he would have died of heart failure by now.
Yeah. No one's looking for him.
I think I have conflicting thoughts on this because okay, so $1 million back in 1995, he died around that time, was $2 million now.
Wow.
So that's $2 million on his head. You'd had a lot of hitters out there trying to get him. But I think he killed Biggie. He killed Biggie, and Biggie had the great song with P. Diddy in it, but it was probably Biggie's idea, the Mo Money Mo Problems.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about like how you don't need money that much because it brings so many problems, but Diddy is addicted to money, and he didn't like when Biggie was saying that.
He's addicted to problems.
Yeah, and then so he made problems for Biggie. He tried to, people didn't talk about this in the news, but they shot him up once, but the bullets all bounced off his tummy.
And so it's just like, it was a prank. Got you.
Yeah, and Diddy said it was a prank, and then they did some more songs together, and then Biggie was like, and then they shot him in the head.
Yeah, so it's his head wasn't as fat as it needed to be, apparently.
I did like the album they made. Oh wait, actually, sorry. Before I say that, how riddle me this, everyone. How come the day that Biggie died, they came out with the song "I'll Be Missing You" about Biggie?
It's just so fast.
It was on the same exact day, fully produced.
Interesting.
Talking specifically about Biggie.
It's like he was ready to capitalize on it.
It was definitely this. I know for a fact it was the same day.
And I feel like we don't need to fact check that even. And
yeah, don't go on Snopes because Snopes is it's a weird leftist. It's like an anarchist weird fact checker.
I always think Nopes when someone checks Snopes. Nope.
Normally, what's on Snopes is the opposite of fact. It should be fiction check.
Yeah,
and that's really what it is.
Can we get a fiction check on that?
Yeah,
Jamie, can you look that up, please?
Yeah,
you're so goddamn.
Jamie used to use Snopes before Snopes became super left leaning. He was like, on Snopes it says this, but he doesn't use Snopes anymore because
he uses Snopes now.
He uses Snopes, yeah. He doesn't do the fiction check. There's so much fiction check all over the news. The only
is there fiction news? Is there
I think
fact news?
I don't like the news anymore.
You don't like the news anymore?
I'm sorry, man.
News flash. Mac doesn't like the news now.
Yeah,
this is a big
breaking news. I don't like the news. I've loved the news for my whole life, and I thought all conspiracies were BS.
Yeah, just total BS.
But I'm seeing all these fiction checks all over the internet, and then I see that it's fact. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's like I thought I could just trust the news my whole life.
Yeah, and now I don't trust the news, so now I just listen to Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, Tucker.
Tucker.
Long live Tucker.
Tucker's my favorite. Tucker's the king. He's it's really funny.
He's a good old boy in a way.
I feel like the right wing side their policies are very moderate. Literally. It's like
literally.
They want the states to vote on abortion, which is good because then it won't divide the country. Each
It's
state.
kind of a united,
Yeah,
unifying.
because if you make it a whole countrywide thing, it's always going to be a fight.
Yeah.
If you just make it state to state.
And then the left just pretends to be moderate, but really they're left. It's like, oh, duh, I should have known the left is left.
Yeah. I mean, she's stolen like a lot of his, she's stolen like 3 of his new policies that he put out, like no tax on tips and a child credit thing. She's probably going to steal no tax on overtime.
I think it's a beautiful thing, though, about the left wing and the right wing is that you need both wings.
To fly.
And we need to all be together to fly.
Well, that's why RFK Jr., a.k.a. JFK, who's which we'll find out soon. That I came up with on my own, but I'm almost positive it's true.
Sure, we don't need to fiction check this.
No.
I hope not, because I'm sick of it.
Because I know it's true in my mind, in my mind of minds.
It's confirmation bias at its finest.
Yeah,
Zero.
exactly. I went through confirmation. I'm a full-fledged membership of the Catholic Church. I don't really believe in God unless you're talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't believe in God. My ass.
I do believe that Willie Nelson might be the reincarnated Jesus. So he's gonna die, and then he's gonna have Biggie had like a life after death album where they just like kind of had some recorded songs that weren't all out, some were out, and they just remixed them.
Oh, God.
And that was a great album.
I can't even imagine.
But he's gonna do life after death, Willie. He's gonna die, and then he's gonna come back to life, and then do an album.
I could totally just see him sliding right up on that crucifix and just sliding right back down a few days later. And this guy is perfect fit to play Jesus in a biopic.
Yeah, he's got the long hair, Willie.
Uh-huh.
What he's gonna do is he's gonna. I mean, he's got very thin old people skin. So he's just gonna he's gonna just rip his hand out, and then pull the spike out of his other hand.
It's not even gonna matter.
And
he's
then
a drug addict.
Who, Willie?
Yeah.
Well, a marijuana addict.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's not a drug even.
He wasn't even the main drug addicts were the biggest partiers were old Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and Merle and Hank Williams Jr. He liked to party hard.
These country boys, never meaning no harm.
Yeah. He loved talking about taking pills and drinking 90 proof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some moonshine.
Yeah, well, he said in all this in the song "All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down," he says, "Cornbread and iced tea took the place of pills and 90 proof."
See, that's what I love is
taking pills and drinking 90 proof rules.
Exactly, and it's like this is an American tradition. People try to shame me for it.
It's a family tradition.
Exactly.
Why do you drink? Why do you roll, smoke, or something like that?
So I learned to from my papa and my mima.
Yeah, you got it. It's a family tradition. My mom. Addicted to Chardonnay. She's classic blonde who drinks Chardonnay and
takes a couple Valium, just chills out.
Always a little drunk,
Always.
Yeah, but
be hammered. She's standing in line to vote.
Sometimes hammered.
Sometimes hammered. Always a little tipsy.
I mean, if you're a divorced woman, you're always going to be drunk on white wine. That's kind of just like what you do.
Yeah, I think it's in the divorce agreement. In some states.
Well, it's like a natural. I believe that it's kind of a natural instinct for women since our species started. That if you have a mate that you marry, we call it marriage now. You should just be like, you're together.
It's just love before.
Yeah, but if that love ends, the woman drinks Chardonnay all the time.
Bottle. Yes.
Since the caveman times, they've been drinking Chardonnay. Chardonnay's been around, believe it or not, for thousands of years.
I think the Chardonnay, it's like you can't spell that without DNA. That's how ingrained it is in
100%.
women.
Yeah, my dad's when my dad's at a place that has wine. My dad's not a big winey, but
No,
they say, what would you like from the wine list? He says ABC, and they're like, what? And he's like, anything but Chardonnay.
nice. And so he basically earns a tip with that joke.
Yeah.
I
He
love a funny
loves
way.
it. I think it's because my mom always drank Chardonnay, so he's like, fuck that.
Just makes her look like a fucking dirt bag.
No.
At the restaurant, she's pissed off. She needs to.
Yeah, they're actually
Jordan
kind of cool now. They for a long time, they didn't like each other.
They're just always wringing each other's necks.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a Kamala Harris versus Trump thing. They're like, he's gonna end democracy. How is he gonna end democracy? I don't get it.
I don't know. I feel like
Is he a because he wasn't a dictator last time at all, really.
if he does, that'd be impressive as hell.
If he was able to
mad.
become a dictator, then that'd be kind of awesome.
You had to earn it. I mean, it's not just given to you.
Right. It's like also a lot of republics become empires. Like the Romans would flip from having a republic and to having an emperor and to having both. Sometimes they had the Senate, but they also had an emperor in times of turmoil, so that the emperor could, declare war they can do whatever they want pretty much, but the Senate can disagree.
That's what they're always talking about, checks and balances. And I say, how about just checks?
Yeah.
Talk about my balance.
Yeah. Let's write some checks and pay off this national debt.
I love getting that COVID check, that one from Donald Trump. Where he put his name fat on there, which is a John Hancock move. And
that money all came directly from him too.
Yeah. It's because he's not.
He's a nice guy. He also doesn't take the presidential salary. He's the only guy that doesn't do that.
Says it's chump change.
Yeah. He says, no, give it to the people,
But yeah, give it to the peasants.
I mean, if all these, if all these rich liberals want higher taxes on the rich, why don't you just donate to charity with your money? Why are you forcing everyone else to pay higher taxes? You can just pay a higher tax. You can pay money to things.
Yeah, it is funny. You could just pay for the services that you want to see happen, and then if they don't happen, sorry, no one cares enough about you. But
yeah. Also, probably most charities and like whatever the left government programs aren't run well. Money isn't spent appropriately, or
there's no efficiency.
It's spent on dumb shit. Yeah.
We should pay the president way more. $400K. That's less than my 401k.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the math correct.
Well, my 401k has exactly 401k, $401,000 in it.
That should be the minimum.
I mean, that's I always keep it at 401k no matter what. So if it goes over, I sell.
If it's less than,
if the market drops, I gotta buy. But it's a good, that way I'm always buying low.
Yeah, I'll buy a different country's currency if I have to.
But what I say,
this
is a little bit of advice from MK Financial Money with Mac.
It's not
the S&P. This is just general advice. The S&P 500 always goes up. The longest it's dropped before hitting another all-time high was for 4 years during the dot-com bubble in 2000. It didn't even drop for that long in 08. Basically, buy low, buy high, sell higher.
And just see, Mac is riding just such a thin line with just being misleading.
How am I being misleading?
And he might be doing it for parody. It might be unironic, but just want to say we love comedy here.
Was that being wrong?
We love comedy, money.
Was that wrong?
Well, just like year over year, you're probably wrong.
What do you mean?
There's probably like a dip at some point.
No, I'm saying the longest time it's been below hitting another all-time high is 4 years.
Yeah, and just,
so that's the longest recession we've had. So if you're young,
the past is just a basic, like the past doesn't dictate the future results, kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't precisely do it at all, but it's a good indicator.
Yeah.
if
you were just like it's always going up.
I mean, because there was 9/11, there was the '08 housing crash, there was the .com
what
bubble.
about that part? Yeah,
that part didn't drop as long as the .com bubble in 2000. That was the longest drop.
So sometimes it drops. Is all I'm just trying to protect Mack's license.
No, before it hits another all-time high, I'm saying 4 years, and then it beat where it was prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
This is just facts.
Just once again, just the past isn't an indicator necessarily of the future.
No.
So.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But, just look at the chart of the S&P, folks. That's all I'm saying.
It's not a huge Ponzi scheme in the long run once people eventually stop.
Well, it's investing in companies. So it really isn't. I guess bonds would be close to it. If you buying government bonds, I don't do that. I'm scared because the government does not know how to spend money. It's really funny if you watch this one guy from Kentucky, not Rand Paul, but Massey, Thomas Massey. He's just him and Rand Paul are the only people that care about the deficit. And he just goes up by himself. He's like,
no one gives
guys, what
shit.
the fuck? Every year we set a budget and then we double the spending. And then we made a rule where if we overspend it, then we cut it down by 1%, but then we just double it again.
Yeah, it's pretty bad because there's a point when you just stop resonating with any of the plans for self-correction. Or just no, we're just going to bend this rule later.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think of the government as a person, I mean, since we're a big government, we get low interest rates on stuff, but 14% of our budget is interest on our debt.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
The principle.
It's insane.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Yeah. So if I'm going to do a quick financial advising on the government.
God, that's so bad.
Cut spending. And
so we're supposed to pay our credit card debt first if we get money, right?
Exactly.
So that's what we should be doing.
We should be
printing money to pay our debts.
The tax cuts should only be in areas that will make economic growth happen. That's how you get more income and higher GDP.
No, but we're so fucked.
No, not necessarily.
14% on just interest.
Well, now, but
that's so bad.
It's. I know it needs to be fixed.
See, I would be one of those ineffective politicians.
Well, Elon,
just be like, what's going on?
Elon, I'll scratch your back here. You know that he's offered to help Trump trim the fat on government agencies.
Yeah, I know, and he will do that.
Yeah, he will too. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for anyone in government.
Yeah, they're gonna be pissed.
About time.
He'll probably get the CIA might try to do something.
He will eliminate whole departments because he'll be like, if we're not adding them back in because we need them, we're not cutting enough. Let's cut some more.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many government agencies. We got the CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. You know.
It's like, why are we funding?
Why are we funding the kid? You know that Kamala Harris funds the KKK. You know that she gives $20 billion a year to the KKK. And I'm like,
doesn't surprise me.
I'm like KK, but stop doing that. KKK, you gotta stop spending money on that.
Like when I was a kid, I was on AIM.
Yeah,
I would say KK. KKK.
I don't. I only know 3 things about her. She was a prosecutor, okay? She grew up as a middle-class kid. And maybe I just know 2 things. She says
middle-class and kid, I guess.
She's a middle-class kid and that she was a prosecutor. That's all she says.
Kamala, kid. Prosecutor.
Yeah. You know that the president, there's executive orders that the president can do about the border, like to add more people.
Like they could visit it. Wow.
They can actually look. She's never even been down there.
Ever been there?
People are like, well, she wasn't responsible for the border. She was responsible for finding the root causes and helping it. It's like, yeah, you definitely helped it for sure. Like, definitely didn't make it worse. Whatever you did.
Root causes, like never
No, I think what she did is she gave a bunch of money to Venezuela to make sure that there was a fair election or that they would accept the election results. And they didn't accept the election results. And we didn't do anything. And then the same guy stayed in power who was like a dictator. And then we didn't do anything. And then he keeps kicking out all these people.
They're coming here, taking over Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not Aurora, Illinois.
Well, they're descending upon Chicago, mostly in black neighborhoods. Sorry to all the black neighborhoods that have to deal with that. I mean, I saw a TikTok video of this guy basically saying like, this is a warning to all these illegal Venezuelan immigrants. Like, if you cool, stay neutral. If you're trying to fuck around, you're gonna get. We got switches, and switches. You know what that is? It makes a gun automatic. And he's like,
it just sounds like a bluff. It sucks.
Well, no, this is going to be black Chicago gangs against the Venezuelan gangs.
You don't send out a warning,
huh?
I guess maybe.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to protect their own neighborhood.
What about my cousin Venezuela?
Also, I'm sure
my cousin Venny.
I bet the Latin Kings would fight against the illegal Venezuelans coming in because that's a different gang. That's a Venezuelan gang coming in.
We just need all the minorities to come together and just take care of that one.
Yeah, well, we'll just stay out of it. Not in my backyard.
Exactly.
That's what I always say.
That's how you move the needle. It needs to affect the whites.
Yeah, I like. No, they shouldn't move all the Venezuelans. Like only the gang members though, and the people that got let out of prison. They should move them into white, really rich white Democrat areas like Evanston.
We got switches.
Like code
switches.
I gotta show you this video. I think I saved it.
Code switches home.
He's like, we got switches. If you gonna fuck around. But I don't know what gang he was a part of, but I mean, Folk Nation and People Nation would come together. This would be Chicago gangs uniting against a common cause of making sure that their housing doesn't get taken over.
It's just us versus them. I even heard Tupac talking about, it's a big gang. The U.S. government.
Yeah.
Chicago PD is a big gang.
The USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK.
Yeah, and it's just like we're funding all them. One of them should be able to overcome the Venezuelans.
I don't think we should be funding the Bloods and the Crips.
I don't think we should be funding the Venezuelans.
You know that I funded I funded all those pagers that they sent over to
the ones that are exploding.
Well, I thought there was normal pagers. I was like, I'm just a businessman.
You didn't really research the background.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? A pager's supposed to be on the go. We're moving. We have deals to make. I'm getting your attention.
Well, I figured because I always see guys like Middle Eastern guys with a pager and then like a Bluetooth ear thing. So I thought I would just send in pagers to those guys.
Yeah, and just give them a heads up.
Yeah, apparently the whole time there's
it's exploding on people.
That was awesome. That that's the most like precise thing you can do.
It's like a walkie-talkie thing that they're just. The spy agencies. Yeah,
and people it got announced right away by Biden and stuff, but it's like they literally targeted all the top people and precisely killed them. Well, the other side is just indiscriminately firing rockets at the city. Now,
is that the same as a beeper? Because you were saying that beeper might be kind of your cover for when you want to say like the N word.
Yeah, I say my beeper or my beepa normally. Because, because normally you go beep. So,
Now you better be careful when you say it.
My beep
might blow up in your face.
Yeah, maybe it might blow up.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to the rap group The Cool Kids? They're like a little bit of gold in the pager, a little bit, or like they also had the song "Diamond with the Black Mags." No.
That rings a
bell. Have you ever heard this?
I think I've heard you do that before.
And then it's yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Wow, 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 wow,
Like a dubstep song.
Wow, 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 wow. That's Nuke 'em by Datsik.
Okay.
Nuke 'em. Yeah. So it's like a song about nuking Russia, probably, or Russia nuking us.
So it's kind of tied to the explosions.
Yeah. Things have been exploding.
Dubstep was an explosion in music.
Dubstep was, when it came out,
Yeah.
it was a real explosion. And it was really like a cultural experiment.
Yeah, and people were like, I don't know if I like, and so people were like, oh, I love this.
I loved it at first, and then it was good party. It was good party music because it came out end of high school. I saw Skrillex when he was new at Lollapalooza. Him and Nectar Bass.
So you got that button, put that on your jacket, get that patch.
Mm-hmm. So I love Flux Pavilion.
That'd be awesome if you had a Letterman jacket, like you specifically. Letterman jacket, all patches, no actual letters. It just like
it's different patches of like when I listen to different music.
But you'd have like also like a state like
I'll get a little
state
Wayne
cop badge for some reason.
FBI.
Nazi badge.
Oh, I should put on my FBI hat. I'll do that on the next one. I actually after I COVID. And I turned to liking Kamala Harris, of course, because of the brain frog that came over me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the FBI. They've been looking for people, and I was like, can I join the FBI? And they were like, I mean, do you like Kamala Harris? And I was like, yeah, I love Kamala Harris. They're like, yeah, you're in.
Oh,
So
you go from like the most wanted to like.
Well, they thought I liked Donald Trump because I was wearing like an America T-shirt. It just had an American flag on it, and I was like, "Oh no, I love Kamala Harris." They're like, "Oh yeah, no, you can be a top level person."
They're like, the shirt's ironic.
Yeah, they're like, the shirt's obviously ironic because we don't like America.
She hates democracy.
So now the Secret Service and the FBI are taking anybody that likes Kamala.
Wow,
Kind of cool. So if anyone needs a job, just tell the FBI you like Kamala Harris. You're a special agent right away.
That's amazing.
And then the Secret Service, their training is to make you worse at things.
Just ignore stuff.
Like they tell you how to like check a perimeter bad, like how not to check rooftops.
The secret is that there's no service.
Yeah, they only put the real ones right around the president, but everyone else just doesn't do anything.
It's like, I don't know if it's because people are just so, they don't even care or can't do anything, but it's like, for such an important lie, they're so bad at lying. Like the Secret Service, not just, it's like.
Well, the Butler thing, after that, they got exposed really about like that roof. That roof was right there.
Yeah, and everyone right away, like every authority figure was like, yeah, that's like such a basic, like such a close shot.
And then
there
also
were people like saying, "Hey, there's a guy up there with a gun," and then
there was no direct line between the people near the stage and at the perimeter. They would have to go through the locals would have to get to the Secret Service. They'd have to talk to a switchboard person and then talk to.
Even the cops were like saying like,
and people. There's people in the audience like, there's a guy there with a gun.
You can be more precise if you're trying to kill the president.
Yeah. I mean, I have a conspiracy. I think it was planned by Trump. I think I might have told you this, but Donald Trump wanted to get his ear pierced, but he didn't want people to think he was gay. So he hired a guy who's a precision sniper, made to hit ears, but he did it a little too high. But that's what I think.
I mean, that's the thing about.
That's what Kamala told me.
Foolish, but then later, it just gets truer as time goes on. So maybe that's what happened.
It probably should have protected that really wide open area on his golf course. Like that's like Where the guy was there for 12 hours. This guy who he's recruiting people to fight in Ukraine. You know,
wasn't like on the cover of like Time or Newsweek or something. It was like 3 days before that. Him on his golf course, like a caricature of it was the cover, I think, of Time, and it said like he's in trouble or something. And it's like 3 days later, he's like almost getting shot on his golf course or whatever.
yeah. Well, at least
That's a little
yeah.
weird.
Well, at least the state government is taking lead on that one.
Yeah, thank God for state government.
I mean, we can't trust the federal government.
I always say you guys are you're feds.
I'm fed up with the feds. You know,
FedEx.
I like FedEx though. That's a private company.
You ever notice that?
I don't like
arrow
USPS. I say
logo?
USPU. You know, it smelled. Get out of here. But I like
FedEx is
FedEx.
better.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Do you ever notice the arrow in the FedEx logo?
No.
You'd probably be kind of mind blown.
Was it found by Native Americans or something?
No, it's just you should just look up the FedEx logo.
I think that I'm
gonna point something out to you, and you're gonna have your mind blown. You're gonna have your mind blown like JFK.
Really?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Before he was RFK Jr. So we don't excuse here, we accuse.
Where's the arrow?
So if you look at the capital E and the X, the space in between them.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So this is a hidden. Now, what are they trying to tell us?
I think it's that they
go to the right.
That they shipped. Well, either that or that they ship stuff to you. Like,
yeah, it might be like a directional.
It might just be like a thing that shows that they ship stuff.
We're going
like quickly.
Like that's how fast we're going.
Or it's a Native American thing.
It definitely could be.
Or they lean right.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's probably a Native American thing.
We're saying go to
folks. I'll put this on the screen so you can look at it while we're looking at it. 40. We're at 41 minutes. Okay, so that's where I'll do it.
I'm gonna be roasting a Native American soon.
Who?
Naaman Howard. And so definitely gonna have to.
You should use Arrow 15.
Definitely.
You do that Native American school shooter. I do.
That's one of my already bangers.
Who makes AR-15s, by the way? Like what company? No, I'm curious.
I don't know.
FedEx Picture 41.
Maybe ship you one. I know some people have a gun. They'll have one built for them if you need.
Is it made by one company or is it?
I don't know. We should really know this.
Who makes?
I'm embarrassing.
AR-15s.
We know so much about Glocks.
The government's definitely not watching me do
swords
this.
And we're just talking about like.
Okay, the patents are expired, but Colt has retained the trademark. So Colt needs to make the Arrow 15 for Native Americans, so they can stay traditional to their core of using arrows, and they can use the modern technology of the semi or fully automatic gun.
And the crossbow. Joe Rogan, I'm sure, would like that.
They need to bring back English longbows with giant arrows. Those are sick.
Bayonets.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting into history. That's the other podcast.
Yeah, no, we don't do historical.
What are we doing? Yeah. Sorry, folks. Check out the Wrong Side of History. That's the feeder podcast to this one. This one's more important, but that one's really good and informative.
I thought, what if I could be Rogue Jonan or something? Or
Joe Rogan. You are.
Rogue Johan. And you could be like Howard Terrence. I don't even know.
Howard instead of Howard Stern.
Or no, Terrence Howard.
I know.
Or you could be Stern Howard. That would be cool. You'd be really stern.
I'm very stern.
Really rogue.
Yeah, and
like,
at the back of the boat. I'm on the back of the boat.
Back of the boat. That sounds like a
who the hell
Rosa Parks situation.
Rosa Parks. Why does she want to sit in the front of the bus? Isn't that the handicap?
I don't know.
That's a handicap seat.
I like sitting in the back of the bus.
All the cool kids sat in the back of the bus.
Yeah, she was fucking just.
I think what if the whole time, like it was an affirmative action thing, like letting the black people sit in the back of the bus because that's where all the cool kids sit. They're saying black people are cool. You have to sit in the back of the bus.
Yeah, and she was kind of doing it to be like, you know what, you have a chance back there.
She's
white
like,
boy.
She's like, I'm not cool. And he's like, yeah, you are. You're super cool. She's like, no, I'm not. And then they arrested her for pretending not to be cool.
Rosa Parks. I didn't know she was driving the bus.
Well,
parking it.
She kind of parked her ass in that seat and wouldn't move.
Yeah, no, it was just a little.
And
bit
she wouldn't.
obnoxious.
She when they wanted her to rise up, she did not row. She never rose from that seat. Yeah. She stayed parked right there.
Honestly, at that point, I felt the civil rights thing was maybe got a little out of hand.
What about
we're talking about seats?
Let's bring back silver rights. You know, silver and gold.
Yeah, it's like
silver.
Come on.
I want some silver.
I need silver bullets.
Yeah, we need to kill these vampires. Like Dan Cass is probably a vampire. Who else is probably a vampire?
Should be allowed to buy whatever. Ain't all bullets.
Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton got to be vampires or something.
No, I've been thinking, especially with Tucker and Rogue Johan, been thinking a lot about the demonic side of our government.
Yeah.
It's just we don't know it. That it's probably infiltrated everybody.
Oh, why do they want to? I just don't get the open borders thing. Because it doesn't make sense on any level economically that it's going to help with illegal immigrants. I understand.
They want the votes.
I know.
Oh, fuck. You were going for a bit, and I just said what it was actually supposed to be.
No, I wasn't. But isn't that going to be weird where in certain states it's like Trump won by 5 points, and then in one state where they put a bunch of illegal immigrants, it's like Kamala 99%.
That would be,
It's going to be, I think if illegals are allowed to vote, then the election's going to be contested, and then there's going to be probably a civil war.
I mean, that Capitol might just need to get stormed again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lightning strikes twice. Sometime.
Yeah, and we're just talking about like a storm, like Stormy Daniels.
Yes, or Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan, he's seems like he's definitely moved to the right. Have you seen? He's had Matt Walsh on. Do you know who that is?
Oh wait, is he like?
He made a video like "What is a woman?" and then "Am I racist?"
Oh yeah.
I want to watch "Am I Racist?"
Wait, that's the guy who's like talking to the people like just out at some.
He goes like things where people like apologize for being white, and he dresses up and pretends to like be a part of it.
That shit's kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah.
When he's like, "What is a woman?" They're just like, "Why do you need a definition or something?" He's like, "Shouldn't you be able to define what it is if it's so important?"
Right. Yeah. No, he just pokes holes in all this dumb, ambiguous shit in our society that we have to abide by, even though we don't even know what the fucking thing is.
And then just, I don't know, that's the thing about politicians. They're just smiling even when they say something bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Okay. It was funny the day after the second attempt on Trump's life, Hillary Clinton was on the news saying that she was like saying like news report, like with all of Trump's like dangerous demagoguery, people need to talk about how dangerous it is to have him back in office, and they need to be consistent about this. And it's like, why are you saying this rhetoric right the second time?
She's like, don't let this distract, because she maybe thinks that he did it as a political stunt.
She has killed so many people.
That's just, has she saved more lives? I don't think so, but I also know people get murdered just for joking about her on Twitter.
Really? Yeah. Well, there's
but someone needs to joke about it or just point out.
There's a lot of evidence that she had a lot, at least 6 people in the opposition unalived.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know what that guy who was on Obama's property, like his chef or whatever, who knows what that guy did, but
yeah,
I saw Kamala called Trump after his second assassination attempt, like not after the first one either, but then it's like 2. Then she calls him, but then it's also like.
And Biden like took forever to come up with a tweet. It's like we know it's not Biden on the Twitter. He doesn't know how to use a phone, an iPhone.
It's like why? But I just wish I could hear like her calling him. Like what? That would be such a funny phone call.
That would be.
I think he'd be like.
You know what's funny too? In the debate, did you watch the debate or no?
No.
So they were wondering like, I wonder if they'll shake hands because this is the first time they've met. Trump was like walking up to the podium like slowly with his arms out like he normally walks, like a cool guy. And she like wanted to be that one to initiate a handshake, so she looks like the bipartisan person. She like sprinted over to him before he even got to the podium and shook his hand.
Awkwardly.
It's like, yeah, like
that's funny.
And the left is like, see, like she is the one that's trying to bring people together. It's like, no, before he even got to his podium, she ran to him to shake his hand.
No, it's like, no, that was weird. Like, there's a weird element where it's like, you don't want that person representing this.
Yeah. It's funny. Apparently, when you shake Trump's hand, he always does the thing where he kind of pulls you in.
Yeah. He could maybe.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Maybe he wouldn't pull her.
And in his office, when he's not president, I guess his desk is always higher, and the seat is shorter for the person he's talking to.
Exactly. That's what I was worried about, how tall my chair was here.
Yeah, well, right now mine's lower than yours.
Good.
Yeah, but well, what are we going to negotiate, huh?
Exactly. I'm surprised actually that I've been so lazy with the. I don't know. I think I wasn't hyped to watch the debates, like just because I heard that he was mad, and then someone was like, "Well, yeah, he should be mad."
He's getting teamed up on real bad.
he like spun it like, "Yeah, of course I'm mad. I'm mad that this country's not in better shape right now." And then people were going berserk.
Well, people were like, he's unhinged. And it's like, no, he had literally both moderators were fact-checking him, and they were wrong on more than half their fact checks.
That's when it's just like fact check becomes a fiction check.
Well, because he was talking about how crime rates are going up, and they are, because the FBI published a thing that didn't include like New York City or LA or Chicago.
Oh wow!
And then the other report came out to show that it's up like 40%.
Oh
and
my God!
And then Trump was like, they're like, actually, the according to statistics, crime rates have actually gone down. He's like, no, they haven't. That was a wrong report. It was misreported, and they corrected it. The FBI, and they were like, anyways, moving on.
See, that's just where it's like, I don't know. I used to not.
I would be so mad if the moderators were, if it's 3 against 1.
It's hard for like anyone who likes truth. Like, it's like I like the truth.
That's why you have to go to
fake ass.
The only way you can't go to network news. I mean, you can look at some of it. I like to watch some left wing news and be like, this is insane.
No, but it used to just be like, oh, Trump, he's the man of 1,000 lies or something.
Yeah.
But then it was just like...
He's the most transparent one because he just says whatever the fuck is on.
Yeah, he seems to be lying less.
Like, he doesn't lie. What he does is he is very hyperbolic, so he exaggerates a lot. He's like, it's the most tremendous. Like,
is a lie.
He exaggerates a lot. That's not lying. That's exaggerating.
Sometimes it is lying.
People... A little bit, but like Kamala just straight up lies. The smile, and also Obama smiles when he does all the drone strikes. He still does this all the time.
God, that guy loves.
That's his whole pastime. Yeah, he was like he was pissed when they didn't let him in on the pager or the beeper operation. Yeah. No,
he's just like, I'm supposed to be on top of the.
He said.
Beepers.
He said, "I'm the one who knocks." I'm the one who bombs the Middle East, not you guys. Mossad. What about Mossad? They should make They should have another group called Massage, and it's kind of like our liaison to the Mossad.
It's like a peace, kind of a spa vibe.
Right. Yeah. It's like our CIA. I don't trust them, so we need to have. A new CIA, but then we'll also, a part of it will be called the Massage, and they'll work with the Mossad, so we make sure that we have, like, we can do cool James Bond stuff like they did with the beepers, we can do more of it. We'll have like we'll sell guns to Hezbollah, but then they'll shoot him and just an arrow will come out with a flag. And it's an Israeli flag.
The beeper might have been cooler than the iPhone, looking back at just the difference between if you have a beeper or whatever, and then you go from iPhone, it's like too distracting, it's too much, but just like, oh, sorry, I have a little something here.
Yeah. Well, and also beepers were, and I'm not talking about my replacement for the Edward.
Yeah, maybe later.
I'm talking about actual beeper or pagers, I can just say. So pagers were used a lot by drug dealers because they would get the page and then they would call on the show The Wire is like about that. They wouldn't use cell phones, but they would just they would get a thing on their little thing, and then they would use a public phone.
So it's just like, okay, convince me to watch The Wire and the debates.
No, I wouldn't even watch the debate. It's so actually, you if you're interested, you can. But it was wild.
I like watching like highlights of the old debates, like you said, when Trump roasted Jeb Bush, and
those are
These are moments
I need to go back and watch those more. I've been watching a lot of the congressional stuff recently, and it's really funny seeing like just the people that are at the hearings or at the whatever, they're just getting screamed at by like Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley, I think.
It's funny how much they're like dramatic for no audience, pretty much. You're like the only one watching.
Well, now they do it for the purpose of TV, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all theater, really.
And I love theater. I mean, it takes me back.
That's what the budget guy, Thomas Massey, always says. He's always like, there's all this bullshit theater, and instead of just, like, can we just stop spending money? But it is, I mean, being a senator, like an outspoken one that's actually on committees, is you got to be a pretty good thespian.
And don't get that confused.
With lesbian, yeah. But you can be a lesbian.
It's way too similar.
We think that you can be a lesbian, you can be gay, and you should be trans.
Absolutely. And that's an AOC quote, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. AOC is smart. She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, that's good experience.
It's almost like she grew up broke or whatever.
I truly believe we need to have just hot women in hot Republican women in Congress.
Yeah.
Well, like not as the main ones, just just in it.
Just have two of them running together, and there's like a sexual tension.
There's this really hot black girl, Kim Klacik, who's running for Senate, I think, or maybe just for Congress in Baltimore, and she's awesome. She's hot as fuck.
So, what are some of her policies? She's pro-gun, pro bow and arrow. What is she?
She wants to get the black. Well, because Baltimore sucks and it's always been Democratic leadership, and so she basically wants to get them off the welfare state and more prosperous and stuff like that. Folks, we love you. Could you grab him? Do you have any plugs?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any plugs?
I don't know.
Follow him at Comedy
Show on Thursday at I think Lincoln Lodge.
Oh, by the way, Kurt Dunsing wants us to do a thing.
Sounds good. We're gonna debate something soon. It's gonna be
I was talking to him Friday, but
debate.
Anyways, this is Mac. Follow me at badboyofcomedy. As B as in boy. Follow me at badboyofcomedy on everything. Subscribe to the podcast. Hit like. If you like, subscribe. It helps. Share it. Share it with a friend. We're just political right now, but normally we don't talk about politics. We're more of we're cashist. We like cash. What's a filibuster? Why is that a word? Because I have to filibuster here for about 45 seconds. What was there a guy named Phil? His last name was Buster. Is that what it is? Dr. Filibuster. How about that? Folks, thanks for coming to the live show if you did, by the way. We really appreciate you. We will be doing more live shows, at Comedy Bar. We love that place. Some people talk shit about Comedy Bar, and you talk shit about Comedy Bar, you get clapped. Yep. I just want to say I love you all, and make sure you vote for Willie Nelson. And all I want to say is we'll see you when the moon hits the rainbow.